Just to summarize a couple of things, we learned that there are a number of costs included in this contract. Those include certain raises of something in the neighborhood of 6.5% annually over the next 2 years for every employee covered. Also increased longevity payments because the base goes up, increased fringe benefits because the base goes up, and several types of lump sum payments, all for an incremental cost. This does not include the salaries that people are already receiving and the longevity bonuses they're already receiving, for a total incremental cost under the contract of $1.5 million in fiscal 2020 and $3 million in fiscal 21. So here it is. There seems always to be very good negotiation on the part of the people representing the employees. Now, I will say this. The public offenders, I'm so sorry, the public defenders perform an extremely important function in this state. They are well respected. They do a job that is essential. We understand from various people who've dealt with them that they're very good at their jobs and they work hard. So none of this is in any way, any comment I might make has nothing to do with their importance or their hard work or their qualifications, which are exceptional. But it is disturbing, and again, the good representative mentioned our role here in the General Assembly to be the representatives of the taxpayers in this state. That's what we're here for, is to represent every single person in our districts. That may include, by the way, some members of the state employees unions who are also taxpayers. And I would say that my concern for this large group of people in the state of Connecticut, every single taxpayer who's contributing to the state budget, that if they are not as well represented in the room, then it is our job here to say, well, wait a minute, everything we've just described, when do we ever see that in the public sector? Who gets guaranteed raises of 6.5% a year? I don't know anyone. The last time I had something that big was back in the 1980s. And I spent a long time in the private sector. So for me, this is an issue of fairness. I would like for every single person in the state of Connecticut to get these terms. Everybody. It would be wonderful. But the fact of the matter is they don't. And what has happened, it's not just that some people are getting it and some people aren't. That's life. Hey, that's fair. But in this case, some people are getting it, and the people who are not are paying for it. And to me, that's about the biggest, broadest issue of fairness among all those that we hear about in this General Assembly. That is the one that rings home the most. And because of that, it would be very difficult, certainly for me, to go home and tell my constituents that I had just voted to make them pay again for something they will never, never be able to have themselves. Therefore, I will not be supporting this resolution. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.